Hello again. Welcome back to another webisode of Crooked House Herbals. And my name is Wendy Fargo. And today I want to talk to you about something. I've been getting a lot of phone calls and emails about from people that are wanting information about gout. So I've discovered along the way that there are several misconceptions about gout and the triggers and the things that surround that condition. So I thought that would be a good topic for us to talk about today. So we're going to talk about gout. What is gout? Well, gout is a form of arthritis that causes sudden severe attacks of pain in the joints. And I don't know if you've ever seen anyone with gout or pictures of someone with gout, but it looks really painful, very swollen. I've seen some pictures where the person's foot looked like it'd been run over by a truck. It was that bad. So it's severe, massive amounts of pain. And the attacks occur from time to time, lasting anywhere from a week to 6 weeks. So that's a long time to be in pain. And it can last for several weeks if it left untreated. So you need to know what to do. If you have gout or if you know somebody that has gout, listen up. 90% of the people who have gout or have had a gout attack will have another one. That's what they say. But maybe we can change those odds. So what are the symptoms? Pain, swelling, usually in the big toe or other big joints, knees, ankles, feet. Tenderness, redness, and it'll feel hot, really hot. So it doesn't sound like much, but let me tell you, you get a big toe that's swollen up and hurts to even look at it, and you are in agony. So what causes gout? Gout is caused by a buildup of uric acid in your body. Uric acid is in your blood, and it comes from the natural breakdown of the genetic material in cells, the DNA, the RNA, and we're constantly breaking down material in our blood. So there's always a little bit of uric acid present. However, some foods contain large amounts of purines, which are like precursors to uric acid. So you're not someone who is susceptible to this needs to be careful not to eat those types of foods that are going to give you even more of a chance of having an attack. Purines are particularly high in things like red meat, organ meats, shellfish, some vegetables actually, asparagus, spinach, legumes, broccoli. So go easy on these things if you have already had a gout attack, because you don't want to trigger another one. When uric acid levels rise beyond a certain point, they form these crystals, and the crystals collect in your joints, and that's what causes you the pain. Because what you're doing, if you think about what's going on in your body, you do not want these uric acid levels to get to a certain point. It's okay to have a little bit, but you don't want them to rise until they crystallize. So again, diet. Darn it, the D word. Right. Some people have more of an inclination or are more inclined to get gout. Well, let's look at why. By the way, these uric acid crystals can also build up in other organs in your body. So you need to be careful with that. Not just, in your joints or, your big toe or whatever, but they can also build up in your kidneys and in other organs and can be very damaging. So listen up. Okay, who's at risk? Well, there's over 1 million Americans that suffer from gout right now. That's a lot of people. Men are more likely than women. Now, last time we talked, it was women that were more likely to get lupus than men. So There's a gender issue, but I think some of it may have to do with maybe just the quantities of food that men eat, or the lifestyle situations, because I know that, like in the case of lupus or autoimmune diseases, women have a tendency to have more of the contributing factors. We have hormone issues, we have stress, we don't eat correctly, so we are more susceptible to some of those things than men, because men have a tendency to be more tunnel vision. And even though, yes, they have stress, they usually deal with stress differently, or they don't suppress it. Women have a tendency to keep things in. So we are sometimes our own worst enemy in that situation. But men over 30 are a little bit more susceptible than younger men to get gout. So men need to be careful and pay close attention to what we're talking about today. When it does affect women, it's usually during menopause. So then again, we're looking at the hormonal changes and imbalances. We have lots of weird stuff going on with our body during menopause. So it's not really weird, it's just different. So if you're going to get gout, it's more than likely going to be during that period of time in your life. Okay, other people who are likely to get gout are people who are overweight, people who consume a lot of alcohol, use diuretics to lower your blood pressure or treat heart failure. When gout affects younger people, it's usually because they are taking certain medications and they've been taking them for a long time, or these kids are like secret drinkers, or have, other things going on that would open them up to higher uric acid levels. Some medications can make it difficult for the body to flush out uric acid. Here again is a key word called flush. And if you are drinking distilled water, then this is going to help you immensely with the flushing process in any situation. So when you need to get rid of things in your body, you need to be drinking distilled water, because it's going to help you with that. Because some water doesn't help. Some water actually hurts. So, distilled water. Okay, so anti-inflammatories made from salicylic acid, things like aspirin or cyclosporine, which is a medication that they use sometimes with people that have had like organ transplants, and their body is, to keep them from rejecting that organ. That is another medication that will boost your uric acid levels. A medicine that's used to treat Parkinson's disease called levodopa. It is also one that's a contributor. Niacin, which is a B vitamin. Sometimes when you're using it like to treat high cholesterol, sometimes you need to be careful with that, because that can get your uric acid levels out of whack as well. A recent rise in gout cases has been linked actually to the Atkins diet, because if any of you are familiar with that diet, you know that it is high protein. They eat a lot of meat, they eat a lot of bacon, shellfish, but they eat low carbohydrate, low fiber. And so again, your body is not producing the right amounts of the right levels of different compounds, so your uric acid is more likely to build up. Yeah, that diet's, it's a strange one, but it's, I actually, when I was in my 20s, I was on the Atkins diet and it worked for me for a while, but my kidneys didn't like it and I ended up with nephritis. So lesson learned, I didn't go back to that. Yeah, bacon, organ meats, anything like that is going to be a no-no for someone who has uric acid level issues. Just don't do it. Stay away from it. Find something else to love. Okay? Low carbohydrate diets put stress on your kidneys anyway, and so you don't want to go there either. That's why the Atkins diet is not a good one. My kidneys, did not like it at all. And I was pretty hardcore on it. So stay away from the low carb. You need the carbs. Just make sure that they're not, French fries from McDonald's carbs. Make sure that they're good ones. Okay, let's talk about how allopaths or medical doctors treat gout as opposed to natural remedies. Allopathically, I love that word. I think it just flows. Medications are used to control the symptoms of gout in most cases. Some of you that have gout know what I'm talking about. But this is generally done with an NSAID, like ibuprofen or naproxen. Side effects of ibuprofen, though: stomach upset, indigestion, headache. And if you can't take ibuprofen, they might get you a prescription for some kind of steroid, and that can be a pill or an injection. Either way, none of that is healthy. Side effects will include, with those things, weight gain, your appetite's going to increase, probably have some mood swings. People that have multiple gout attacks, a lot of times the doctors are going to prescribe a medicine that lowers your uric acid level, like allopurinol. In fact, for a while, my mother took that. I believe she doesn't take that any longer. The side effects of that are things like upset stomach, diarrhea, headache, dizziness, lovely stuff. Skin rash. Allopurinol is not very effective during an attack. It might keep things at bay for a little while, but of course then you have all those lovely side effects, and who knows what else it's doing to the rest of your body. Another drug that is used by allopaths is called colchicine, I think is what it is, and it dissolves the uric acid crystals, but it's highly, highly toxic. So, and it's derived from a very toxic plant. So it cracks me up. It kind of reminds me of back in the, 1500s when they were treating people with mercury and, actually poisoning them, thinking that that was going to be better than the illness. So the researchers are studying some new protocols and drugs that they're going to want to introduce before too long in that line. But let's talk about some herbal aids. Celery seed extract. Doesn't that sound much more benign and actually tasty? Celery seed can eliminate uric acid completely. I know when my mother was having some issues a while back, the first thing I told her was, get your blender out, go get some organic celery and make yourself some celery juice. Drink the whole thing. Well, she did. Her problem stopped. Celery is one of those amazing plants. And there is a component in celery that literally dissolves uric acid. So why not go with celery seed? I mean, it's easy. You can do celery seed or you can do fresh celery, the whole thing, leaves and all. Just juice it. It's wonderful. Tastes good. I like to add a little pineapple to mine, and it's delicious. So that's one thing. Okay, you can eat the celery throughout the day as well, and that would, help you keep things at bay. But just do it. Just do a concentrated celery zap in the morning, and you'll be amazed at how much better you feel. Another thing is cherry juice. Cherry juice is a long-standing uric acid opponent. It contains flavonoid compounds that lower the uric acid level, and they reduce inflammation. Cherries are awesome. Tart cherry juice, though. You want the tart stuff, not the sugary stuff, okay? You want like dark cherry juice. It's actually really good. It doesn't have to be sweet. It's pretty good. In fact, mix it with the celery. It's good. All right. Uric acid formulas. There are a few out there. I believe that there is a good one that is put out by uh, Dr. Christopher's group. You can probably Google it. I don't have the link on my material here for you, but look, just, gout, uric acid formula, Dr. Christopher. Google that, and that is a compound that I would stand behind 100%. I'm pretty sure it has celery seed, nettle, licorice, white willow, which is your analgesic. It's your aspirin. Hydrangea, apple cider vinegar, cherry juice. It's got all that in it. So you might just want to go with a pre-made formula, but that's one I could recommend. I'm not going to recommend a whole lot of things that are out there, but anything put out by Dr. Christopher is um, sustainable, and it's good. I like it, so I would recommend that one. Turmeric is another really good compound that inhibits um, the inflammation, that will help with your inflammatory issues and your pain. So get turmeric in you. Just like I talked about last episode, I talked about the recipe that's on my website for the um, golden milk. Go to the recipes and get the recipe for the golden milk. It's turmeric, and it's so good. It's so, so good. So it is similar to the effects of aspirin as far as pain relief, just a little weaker. At higher doses, it stimulates your adrenal glands to release your own cortisone. So turmeric is awesome. Keep that in your medicine cabinet, in your herbal medicine cabinet. Oats. Teas made from the silica-rich green tops of the oat plant. They have a diuretic effect, and they help flush out those uric acid um, extras that you don't want. So our children's tea is a real good tea for that, because it's got the oats in it. It's also got, it's high in some other um, horsetail grass and some other things that are good sources of natural assimilatable calcium. And but the oats will help flush the uric acid, so that's a good one. And my all-time favorite always is apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar with honey will help flush out uric acid deposits, extra acid, extra minerals. It'll balance your pH in your body. You can take a bath in it, or soak, like if you've got a gout toe, soak it in a bath of apple cider vinegar in warm water. Just let it go in through your skin. It's an awesome pain reliever. Apple cider vinegar is good for sprains and, you know, deep, heavy duty bruising and lots of things like that. So soak and drink apple cider vinegar a lot. Uric acid is caused by purines. We know that. The ones that you find in the red meats and the shellfish and those few vegetables that I mentioned and stuff. Sardines, cod, trout, turkey, alcohol, venison. Moderate levels of purine is found in chicken, duck, ham, beef, lobster, lima beans. Very little, if any, purine is found in fruit, most green vegetables, grains, and tomatoes. So, if you're inclined to gout attacks, you may want to watch what you eat and let your food, or your lack of food, be your best preventative medicine in this case. The apple cider vinegar and honey is going to be your best friend. So do that, since that's already good for other things anyway. Avocados also are believed to be a really good gout treatment. So eat avos, man. They're yummy and they're really good. They're a good fat. So have some avocado. it's reported that they lower the uric acid levels. So that's anything that's going to do that is what you want to migrate towards, especially if you are, if you've had multiple gout attacks. You need to adjust your eating habits to include some of these other foods and get rid of the ones that you know are high in purine. Here at Crooked House, we also recommend a thorough cleanse. And I think that if you were to do a good cleanse every 6 weeks or so, I would recommend maybe the lemon master cleanse that's on my website. Really good. It's lemon, maple syrup, the real stuff, and cayenne pepper. 3 days or so of a lemon cleanse would do your body a lot of good. Everybody should do it, but especially those of you that have, problems with elevated uric acid levels. This is going to be something that's going to help you just keep your system clean until your body can get the hang of regulating itself again. After you've cleansed your liver with the lemon cleanse or, liver detox tea, we have great liver detox tea that does a great job with that as well. Then I would recommend 3 or 4 days with the clean blood tea that we have that will work on purifying your blood because the uric acid is in your blood. So make sure that you're making these teas with distilled water and that you're drinking, 3 to 4 cups a day. And I would recommend 3 or 4 days at a time with each of those regimens. And then, take a week or couple weeks off and then do it again. And just get your body clean. It's that simple. But it takes you wanting to do that. I know that that's the way it is with everything. It's the way it is with exercise. It's the way but really, it's getting to the point now where you really need to make some decisions about your health and about your wellness and about the health of your family. And are you going to go, there's definitely a fork in the road here. And yes, there are times when you need to go to the doctor, you need to get a diagnosis, you need to find out what's wrong with you if you don't know. But then at that point, before jumping into a laundry list of medications, shots, tests, surgeries, take a step back and look at what is really going on with your body. And if your doctor can't tell you, then find somebody who can, or research it yourself and ask the question again, why am I sick? Not what are my symptoms, not what disease do I have? Why am I sick? And remember that your body is just one aspect of you. You are a body, a mind, and a spirit. And when all of these things are in harmony, you're healthy. When something's out of whack, you better believe it's going to affect the other areas of your life. So take the step back, take the responsibility for your own life and the life of your children. And before you go rushing in and willfully turn your health over to someone else who may or may not even know what's wrong with you or how to fix it, do a little bit of your own legwork and your own homework and use common sense. And give your body a chance to fix it itself first. You can always go in there and let them cut you up later. But give yourself a chance. And start with cleaning up your house and cleaning out the toxins. There is a lot of work to be done in that area. A lot. And I'm going to be preaching that till the day I die. You can put that on my tombstone. Clean up your house. Because we're all guilty of it. None of us are real consistent. And that's why it needs to be a constant effort. And don't wait until you are so sick that it takes massive amounts of whatever to get you over the hurdle. Learn to be sensitive and in tune enough with your body that you go, you know what? I'm starting to feel off. Like something's wrong. And I do that when I have a little bit of a scratchy, weird throat, or I start to get like sinus drainage, or something just doesn't feel right with me. The first thing I do before I do anything else is I go to my fridge, I pull out my bottle of rosy syrup, and I take a big swig, or I get my pretty little shot glass out, pour a shot, and take it. And I let that do its job first. It's a fantastic immune booster. And sometimes my body just needs that. You know, I'll make sure I double up on my water intake. Drink some good healthy tea. And I give myself a day. And most times, that's all I need. Sometimes all I need is just to sleep for 8 hours straight. And I'm sure I'm not alone on that. So, listen to your body. Use common sense. And seek out ways to stay well instead of putting a Band-Aid on something. So get used to asking the question, why am I sick? Not what kind of sick do I have? All right. Well, as you always, it was wonderful talking with you again. And I want you to know that if you ever have any questions or need any further assistance on any of the stuff that I talked to you about, you can always email me at crookedhouseherbals@gmail.com. Or you can contact me. I have contact information on my website. I have articles on my website. I have plenty of ways for you to get in touch with me. So I hope that you have a blessed week. And remember, we do what we do because nature heals you best.